This time on Kustom Works, we're looking at the Meat Wagon and we're looking at all those little details, the kind of details that build a champion. Let's get to the workshop. Okay then, so back on the Meat Wagon. I've been working so much on the Meat Wagon, but on camera it's really difficult to show, you know, a bit of like Bondo that has gone from being quite too smooth to smooth enough to paint. Camera's never going to really pick that up. But I've been sanding a lot, as we can see down this side. Lots of stopper, lots of filling, lots of sanding, lots of very difficult sanding in really horrible places that I can't get the sander in. But anyway, all of that falls by the wayside today because what I'm going to do is work on this rear section. Now this rear section, very plain, very boring, and this is meant to be like the most Art Deco thing you've ever seen, like more Art Deco than your local Odeon. So this is going to be, it's like a grill on the back. So this is going to have lines like this all the way across to make a lovely sort of like a waterfall rear grill coming down to here. It'll end in a lovely radius above the Continental kit, and then when it's painted all of this will be chrome, and then between like the veins of this will be black, all these will be chrome, and this will look magnifique. Well, I think anyway. I've got to do it first. So I'm going to do a little bit more prep on this. Get a little bit of filler down there because I might not get in again. And then I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up down here. Some filling needs doing here, just like it's done on this side. And then I'm going to stick loads of that stuff that you cloak around windows onto the back of the car, and it's going to look amazing because plastic window cloaking is the way you build cars, isn't it? Well, it is now. I've got a pointing stick now. It's like a proper job. So I want to make this like reeded like a grill. So I'm going to have bits coming down, and what I want to do is I've cut this bit off, and what this is, it's just a piece of UPVC cloaking, UV stable, very flexible, never rust. But here, even when the second load of dinosaurs come, let's face it, it's going to be here forever. So what I'm looking at, I'm thinking, do I need to do something like that and then go off it, or do I want to come down just a nice little rounded ends? And I've got to say at the minute, I am not too sure. But that's what I'm looking at. Do I have an end to it and then I'll come down to the end? Or do I just go on and they drop down? So always best, cut a bit off, have a bit of a mess around, offer it up, you know, ask someone around. What do you think to that, Kirst?
Lovely.
More in-depth reportage from Kirst later. Okay then, after a little bit of consultation with my design team, you're right, Kirst?
Alright.
I have decided no edge. Just go straight down with the bull nose on each one, and then it looks like the numbers at the beginning of the Matrix. They don't fall to an edge, do they? Just like a waterfall. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Over there, they'll all be bending round there. It's going to look unbelievably cool. So then these will go around there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the dividers, or compass as it is, and I'll go around there, mark off. And that's where I'll start to, and I'm going to start with one there, and then fill them in the middle, because not measuring and working things out, I'm not going to do that. This thing tapers, it curves, even curves again at the top. It's never going to be dead right. And then all of this is going to look absolutely brilliant. It might not look brilliant, it might just be adequate, it might look rubbish, I don't really know. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this is going to look dead good. Okay then, so gonna make this. I marked this out, like I said, but it's absolute rubbish. This mark doesn't look right. It looks closer here and there, so just forget that. And I would say with anything, if you're building it right, you've got the curves, a tape measure shouldn't help you at all. Because you can't really measure around a curve very good and put it to the other side. Just do it by eye. If I went to this measurement, this would all look crooked. So, I think what we've learnt from this is throw away your tape measure and definitely throw away a spirit level, unless the car's actually level to the ground. Absolutely pointless. So, I'm just going to do it on the fly, just free form. That's what I'm going to do. So, let's get to it. Let's glue some plastic to this van. Alright then, ta-da! Ribbed for pleasure. Yeah, there they are, they're all on. I cut this pretty much freehand and just sanded the edge down. I filled all the holes in this. The screws hold it on. And also what I've done, finally, I've started to get this piece, which sort of flares up on the roof, and this curve into here. It's just been a nightmare. Internal radiuses are so hard to sand. And then I've put the nasty chrome strip down here that's all going to be riveted, and I've started to form a curved end to it there. But things are going pretty damn good. Now, over the top of this van before, what there was it went over a door, over, up for the back bit. And I didn't like that top. It wasn't, the line wasn't clean enough, and going to be a lot of detail in the body of this, so because there's a lot of detail in the body, I want the silhouette to be super simple. So I put this new bit over. So this new bit goes up there and it goes right to the front of the truck in one lovely movement. Now obviously I've done this with a PVC cloaking strip, and let's have a look how that actually happened. So then, round the more finished side of the van, it's a lot less dusty around here than around there. What I've done is, so I put the PCU PVC cloaking all the way across, and then I packed it just on bits of cardboard, whatever, just anything to get that smooth line. And then what I've done, I filled behind it with Evo Stick Insta Stick. An Insta-Stick, I've used it a few times, but just in case you don't know, Insta-Stick is for putting plasterboard on walls. It's a lot like expanding foam, but it never expands. If I'd done this in expanding foam, what I would have come back to the next day is that that piece of thin plastic will have been pushed up by the expansion of the foam, and that's no good. You need it just to do what it's got to do and no more. So that is out. I've got this lovely clean line over the top of the whole truck. And of course, as I always say, can't make a car out of plastic and foam. It'll all just blow off on the motorway, and then you'll be left just driving like just 4 wheels and a steering wheel like off of cartoons. So what I'm going to do is go over all of that in fiberglass, in 2 good layers of fiberglass, and then smooth out this side. Then that goes in onto the roof, and the roof's got like a valley to it, and that will be just so it lasts for ages. I'm going to paint that in the same sort of stuff you do a flat roof in, and a flat roof on a house when it's got that fiberglass on, it's good for like 40 years. It'll be fine. If it's not fine, in about 40 years I'll be dead, so I'm not really bothered. So yeah, I'm going to do that in the gully in the top, do all that in fiberglass, you'll never see that bit. Reed up both ends like I have on the back, so it's got the grill back and front, and then everything's going good. And the Meat Wagon is seriously getting to a point where some paint might go on. I got a load of stainless steel stuff down at the other end of the drive in the other big gazebo, all ready to fit in it. This project is really moving on. So then, if you remember a few weeks back, I put up this tent and it was great, and I was sanding away, but you know what, I was tricked, because you know what, it was still a little bit summer. Now it's not anymore. It gets dark really, it's like 4 o'clock now and it's nearly dark. It was getting really cold, I couldn't get the fillers, I couldn't get the filler to go off. Am I kidding? I was cold, who cares about the filler? I was freezing. I'm out here working in the cold, it's too dark, I've just got one light, massive LED spotlight, it was no good. So, I have customised the gazebo. So first up, I put a lot of these very cheap LEDs round, and up there, it's all so Christmassy. So I've got light, now I've got heat as well. One thing on the heater, I always buy a 3,000 kilowatt fan heater, and that seems to warm anywhere they're really hot, but a lot of times I've had the plugs literally melt out the wall. I had that problem. My top tip is put it in a different plug socket and buy a brand new extension cable. That's what I've done. I think my old one had been repaired a few times and it melts the plug off. I've had this one on for like 4 hours now and absolutely nothing. There's just no heat anywhere. There shouldn't be heat. But that's warming in here and it's pretty good. Okay, so also, because I've still got to get the car in and out, so the ramp's outside, and I've got a lot of work to do under this vehicle, rather than just boarding it in, I decided to make these doors. So I've made these huge doors that open up into the yard. They don't open all the way, because guess what? I've still got half a taxi stuck round there. Beautiful panels, very reasonably priced. If you want any parts for a modern day taxi, just call me. This has got to be Bodge of the Millennium as well. Look at the state of that. I just had bits, but oh, it works so nicely. Oh yeah. But yeah, I made all that. So I am sort of warm and dry now, and I can get on with this, and also this has got the height. I can get on the roof and work as well, because you wouldn't believe how much of this project seems to be up on the roof. You think, oh, I'm going to do this, it'll be a nice easy job. You end up on the roof. I'm on the roof all the time. I'm tired of climbing. But yes, I have pimped the workshop in a shoddy, temporary way. Don't forget, at the moment, we've got an Etsy store selling stickers and t-shirts. Stickers, great for like sticking all over yourself to keep warm. T-shirts, great to put on the back of the car. I think it's that way round anyway. All the details and knowledge thereof is down in the description below. Right, and next time on Kustom Works, we're going to see what this chassis is going to be. I've got some pictures, going to do some in-depth description and talk you through just what this is going to be, and believe me, this is going to be one of the greatest things I've ever built. Alright then, that's it, that's all for this week. Once again, Kustom Works for another week is over. Don't forget to click subscribe, do the heart thing, the bell thing, like all of those things, thumbs up, comment down below, all of that. That has been this week. Next week will be next week. Until then, thank you very much and good night.